Hi friends, welcome to Unique Concepts. Today in this video, I am going to discuss about Insert tab in MS Word. By using Insert tab, we have many tools. We can insert tables, pictures, cover pages, header, footer, hyperlinks, equations and symbols, etc. First of all, how to select the Insert tab? We can select the Insert tab by using the mouse, but we have a shortcut key to insert tab. What is the shortcut key? The shortcut key is Alt plus N. When we long press the Alt key, we have so many shortcut keys. It is visible on the screen that for every tab we have a shortcut key so that we can use these shortcut keys. The combination of these shortcut keys is Alt. So we have a shortcut key for the insert tab, that is Alt plus N. Now we have so many groups in this insert tab. So first group is pages group. So in the pages group, we will have three tools: cover page tool, blank page tool, and page break tool. First one is cover page tool. So when we use this cover page tool, everyone can see cover pages everywhere. For example, whenever we take any textbook, the first page is nothing but a cover page. So whenever we see any project, so the first page is nothing but a cover page. So what is a cover page? Means cover page is very attractive with so many pictures and title of the book and author name, version of the book, etc. So all these cover pages are done by using this cover page tool. In the cover page tool, what we have is we have a predefined cover pages, predefined designs of the cover page. By using these predefined cover page designs, we can use these, and we can also browse in the online, and we can download them, and we can also use them. In this cover page tool, what is the difference is, whenever we are using this cover page, it appears only at the top. That is nothing but it appears only as the first page of the document. It only appears as the first page. And one more thing is, the layout of this cover page is very different from the other pages. Now here I have selected a one cover page from the predefined designs, and here we can see. So first one is year. We can modify the year. So I am keeping as 2020, and now I can here I can give the title of the document. So I'm giving some document name, unique concepts, and next here I can change the picture. It is we have so many we have already here picture, so I can change the picture by right click, and I can change change picture from file or from online source. Now I am selecting from file, and I'm changing the picture. So I have predefined some pictures. I'm selecting one of those pictures, and I'm changing that picture. And we can write here author name, whatever the address of the your organization, etc. So you can modify this, and you can change the appearance of this cover page with different colors, etc. And our next tool is a blank page. What is this blank page? Is nothing but whenever I want to add one more page to my document. For example, at present I have only one page in the document. Now I want one more page. What I have to do? The only thing I can do is, I have to keep on pressing the enter button until I get the second page. But it is not a good thing. So what we have to do is, we can use the tool called a blank page tool, so that I can easily go to the second page. So here in this document, I want to leave this first page blank, and I want to start my book or my text from the second page. So what I have to do is I can't press enter so many times. So I'm using the blank page tool so that I can get one more page. So now I have two pages in my document. So for whenever we want another page, we cannot press several times enter button. So we can use this blank page tool. And next one is page break tool. What is this page break tool? Is nothing but in this page break tool we can break the page, we can break the text of the page. So it is nothing but for example, now I am writing some paragraphs in my page. So now I have written some text in my page, and now in the first page I have so many paragraphs, but I want the first two paragraphs in the first page, and remaining all the paragraphs we should start with the from the second page. So what I have to do is I have to keep on pressing enter until the my third paragraph enters into the second page. But I cannot do this. What I have to do is we can use simply a page break button, or a shortcut key is control plus enter. So now but I have pressed control plus enter so that my third paragraph is in the second page. So by using this page break, we can break the page. We can break the page of the sentence into the another page. This is a pages group. And our next group is a tables group, which is very important. And in this tables group, we can insert tables in different ways. So why we are using these tables? At which part we are using these tables? Whenever I'm submitting any report, if I want a table, so I will use a tables. Whenever I am preparing my resume, I want some tables for entering my educational qualifications like SSC, like that, +2, etc. So whenever I want a table in my document, I can use a tables group. Here, first of all, I have a different ways. So first method is manually selecting the cells present here by mouse. So I can select these cells by using the mouse, and we can just insert the tables just by clicking. So I have a tables here. So here in this I can we have a drawback. What is this drawback is whenever I can whenever manually I'm inserting these tables, I can insert the table at in the 10 into 8. That is nothing but I can insert only 8 rows and 10 columns. If I want to add the data of 100 students, I cannot add the data because here in the manually I can only insert 8 rows, but I want 100 rows. So at that point of view, we will use another tool called insert table tool. So whenever we want a limited number of rows and limited number of columns, we can just manually select these table cells. If we want more number of rows and more number of columns than 10 into 8 order, then we have to use insert table tool. In the insert table tool, we can select the number of columns and number of rows. We can easily select. How? We will have a dialog box. Here in the dialog box, it is asked that number of columns. So I can give number of columns and number of rows. So I am giving number of columns as 10 and number of rows as 100 because I want to add 100 students data. If I want to add 20, then 20 students data, then I can write 20. So I'm using 20 rows and 10 columns so that I can get the table. Here we have one more, some more options: fixed column width, auto fit to contents, auto fit to window. First of all, we see about the fixed column width. When we select the fixed column width, the width of the column will be fixed. If, for example, I want to keep 1 inch of the 1 inch as my column width, so I'm placing my 1 inch as my column width. So now we can see my see a table. It has one inch of width, column width. So when we use a fixed column width, my column width will be 1 inch. It is fixed. And next one is fit to contents. Whenever we are using auto fit to contents, here I am placing number of columns as 5 and number of rows as 2, and I am selecting auto fit to contents and I am pressing OK button. Now, whenever I use this fit to content, then my table column width will be 0 inches. So there will be no size, no width for the column. Whenever I write the data, then my column width will be increasing. Only where the data is present, that column width only will be increasing, and remaining has the 0 inches as their column width. And my next option is auto fit to window. So what is auto fit to window? Here I am selecting number of columns as 5 and number of rows as 2, and I am selecting auto fit to window. What is auto fit to window means? Auto fit is window is nothing but it has a fixed length such that the table is fixed to the size of the window. Here we can see the table, and in the layout tab we have the height and width. So here we have not mentioned any width, but by default the width is 1.3. So my my table has fixed width, which is fixed to the size of the window. And next one is a draw table. The draw table has a special feature. So why we use this draw table is nothing but whenever we cannot say the number of rows and number of columns for some tables, we cannot say. For example, now you can see the table in the screen. So in this table, we cannot say how many rows we have and how many columns we have, because in first row we have 2 columns, in second row we have 3 columns. So how many columns you have? Either 2 or 3. So we cannot say. At that time we use the draw table. It is very easy to draw the table instead of selecting them number of rows and number of columns. And next one is, and when we select this draw table, our cursor pointer will change into the pencil symbol, and we can just click and drag the mouse so that we can draw the table. And if we want to, so now I have drawn a table, and my cursor pointer will not change until I will again have to select a draw table, such that my cursor pointer will change. If I have selected draw table, my cursor pointer will change into pencil, and again I have to select the draw table, then only my cursor will change such that I can write my data. And next one is convert text to table. So when we use this convert text to table means, if I have written something in a text format, but now I want to I want this data in a table format, what I have to do? So what I have to do is I can use convert text to table tool. Here the first whenever we select the text, then only the tool will be enabled, otherwise it will be disabled. So now I have written some data. By using comma or at the rate of symbol. We can use any symbol between the data. So now I have written section number, name, marks, total, and then percentage. So I have separated all these with at the rate of symbol, so that for every at the rate of symbol I want a line, that is nothing but it is one column. So now I am selecting this and I am selecting convert text to table. So we have a dialog box here. So here in the dialog box we have so many options. First one is number of columns, and in number of columns it automatically selects the number of columns based on our data. And what we have to do is it automatically selects the number of columns based on our data. And what we have to do is just we have to mention at what symbol we want another column. So separate text it in separate text it we are selecting other, and I am writing here as at the rate symbol because I have used at the rate. So and then we can press OK. Now that our text is converted into a table. So like this we can convert the text into table easily. Next one is Excel spreadsheet. So what is this Excel spreadsheet is? In the Excel spreadsheet, we can insert in document for formulas. So I have no formula. I cannot use formulas in the MS Word. So what I have to do is I can use Excel spreadsheet. For example, if I want to add, that is nothing but total. I want total. I want a grade. I want a result, pass or fail. We have a formulas in Excel, but here in the Word I cannot perform the formulas. So now what I am doing is I am using Excel spreadsheet. When I select the Excel spreadsheet, the total environment of the MS Word will change into the Excel spreadsheet. You can observe a home tab. Here we have styles group, cells group, editing group, but these are not present in the Word because it is the total environment is changed into the Excel spreadsheet, Excel. And now here I can edit the data, I can enter the data, and I can perform formulas. Now total, I am performing total. I am taking two subjects and performing total formula, and result formula. I can get the result. So I have used two formulas. One is for total and one is for a result. And we have to press on the white space. I can press on the white space so that it is inserted. So now whenever I want a formulas, I can use Excel spreadsheet in the similar way. So if you want to edit this data again, which is inserted in the by using the Excel spreadsheet, you just double click on the table. Then again it opens in the Excel spreadsheet, Excel application, and then you can from here you can again edit this data. Next, quick tables. So what is quick tables is nothing but by using the quick tables we can insert the tables which are predefined. We have some predefined tables here so that we I'm selecting the data and I can edit this data. Whenever we are inserting these tables, we can get two extra tabs. They are design tab and layout tab. Here you can see the design tab and layout tab. What is this design and layout tabs are nothing but these are especially made for the tables. These are only made to format the tables. So whenever we select the table, then only these tabs will appear. If I'm not selecting the table, then these tabs will hide. So in this design tab and layout tab, we have so many tools. First one is design tab. In the design tab, we can design our table with different colors. So in the table styles, I have predefined styles, predefined colors. So now I am selecting one color. So here I have a color, and in the table styles, beside the table styles, we have table style options. Here, header row, first column, what are these tools is nothing but we can highlight whatever the rows we want, whatever the columns we want. For example, I want to highlight only the header row so that I can remove all those remaining things unselected, remaining tools unselected. So I am selecting only header row. So only the header row is highlighted and remaining or not highlighted with color. And next, if I want only the first row, so first column, I want a first column to highlight. And if I want only the total row, total row can be highlighted, last column will be highlighted, banded columns, banded rows, so that we can highlight whatever the rows we want and whatever the columns we want by using these table style options. And by using table styles, we can format the table with different colors, and we can clear the format by using this clear option. So clear option and we can again keep the styles. So I can keep the styles. And next one is shading. Now I want only one column to be highlighted with another color. So now I am using a shading so that only one column will be highlighted with a different color, whatever you want. First we have to select the row or column wherever we want to shade. We want the shade, and then we have to select the color. So I have selected the color so that my cell color will be different. Cell color will be selected. Next we have borders. In the borders, we can select the border of the table, border of the cell. We can select different borders. Here we have different border styles, double border and color of the border, and we can increase the size of the border, style of the border, pen color. So I am using a blue color, so I can use any color. When I am selecting this, my cursor will change, my cursor pointer will change into the pen shape, and now wherever I want the border, I can select that line, I mean that column. So for example, here now I want name column should be highlighted. So I'm using the different border for name. So you have to just click on the line of the column. So now my column is highlighted with different border, so that we can change the borders in the similar way. And next one is a layout tab. In the layout tab, we have many tools, especially rows and columns group. We will use frequently rows and columns group. What is this rows and columns group is nothing but here in the rows and columns group, we can insert a number of rows and number of columns easily. How to insert them? For example, here I have a data. So I want I want to insert a table between the first student data and second student data. So here I want to add one more column, or I mean one more row between the first and second student data. What I have to do? Thus, we have two methods to insert. First method is you have to keep the cursor pointer outside the table and after the first row. So at the last of the first row column and outside the table, you have to place the cursor and you have to press enter key such that one more row is inserted. So like this we can insert a one more row. And another concept is by using the insert above or below tools, we can insert the rows. So for example, I want to insert the rows. So between the 2 and 3, between the 2 and 3 students, I want to insert one more row. How to insert? So you have to place the cursor at the last column or at any place in the row, and you have to select either if you want to insert above, you want to insert below. So now I am selecting insert below. So insert below. So it is selected, it is inserted a row between the 2 and 3 columns. Second student data and third student data, we have one more row inserted between these second row and third row. Next, insert above. So insert below means it is inserted below the second row. If you want to insert the above row, so you can insert the above row. Now I am selecting, I placed my cursor at the third row and third student data, and now I am selecting insert above so that the data is inserted, the row is inserted above the third student data. And next, if you want to insert a column, so what you have to do is you have to select how many columns you want to insert. For example, I want to insert 2 columns. So select 2 columns and insert, whether you want to insert left or right. If you want to insert left, then select left. If you want to insert right, then select right. So you can insert the columns. So whenever you want to insert a columns, how many columns you want to insert, you have to select that columns and you can insert. And next, if you want to delete these columns, what you have to do is you can use a delete tool. Here we have so many options: delete cells, delete columns, delete rows, and delete table. So I'm selecting the data and I can edit this data. In this, you can delete cells, delete columns, delete rows, and delete a table. First of all, I want to delete columns. So whatever the columns you want to delete, you just select that columns. For example, I want to delete the total. So now I have selected the total column and I want to delete this column. So delete columns. You can delete the columns. Now my total column is deleted. So if I want to delete a row, first you have to select the row. Whatever the row you want to delete, you just select that row and you have to press delete rows. Here my row is deleted. In the same way, we can delete the cells. For example, now I am selecting a Justin cell. So now I want to delete this Justin cell. So you just place the cursor, or you just place the cursor and then select delete cells. It will show you a dialog box. In this dialog box, we have different options. Shift cells left. So what is shift cells left means? The Justin cell will be deleted and the cells are shifted to the left. The right cells will be shifted to the left. So in this table, now Justin cell is deleted and 32, the English marks will replace the Justin, and the result, that is fail, the result will be empty. You can observe this. So I am selecting this. Now what happened is Justin cell is deleted and the result is empty because the cells are shifted. And you can use on different remaining options also. So you have delete column, delete cells, and shift cells up. So what this shift cells up means, Justin will be deleted, and remaining cells will be shifted one row above. So now I am selecting shift cells up, and now here you can observe that my cell is the Justin cell is deleted, and all the row data is shifted to the up. And next, delete cells. Here we can delete entire row and entire column also. So whatever the delete, whatever the column you have to delete, or whatever the row you have to delete, you just place the cursor in that row and select the delete entire row, so such that the entire row will be deleted. If you want to delete the column, just I have placed the column at John, that is nothing but name column will be deleted. So select delete cells and then delete entire column, so that the name column will be deleted, such that so you can delete the columns and rows and cells. So you can delete multiple columns and multiple rows and multiple cells by selecting one by one. And next, a delete table. So you want to delete this table, then you can use the delete table present here, the present in the delete group, in the delete group. But you have one more way to delete this. So whenever you want to delete only the data present, that is nothing but only the data I want to delete, but I want the table structure, such that then what you have to do means, you have to select the table. How to select the table? You the plus symbol present at the top of the table, you have to click on the plus symbol. That means the table will be selected. Now you just press a delete key from the keyboard, such that all the data will be deleted. If you want to delete the structure of the table also, then you have to select the table and you have to press a backspace, such that my table will be deleted. So to delete the data, what you have to do, you have to press delete key by selecting the table. If you want to delete the entire table, that is nothing but structure of the table, then you have to press a backspace key by selecting the table. And also you can use this command to delete the structure of the table, that is nothing but delete entire table. You can delete the entire table structure. And next, we have an alignment group. In this alignment group, we have 6 alignments. You can edit the data. You can make alignments for the data present in the table. For example, now I want to edit I want to make the alignment of the section number as a middle. So middle, or you want to keep any other alignment, you can keep the alignments right, left, whatever the alignment you want, you can select that alignment for the entire table. If you want to if you want to keep the entire alignment for the table, so you can just select the table and you can give the alignments. Whatever alignment you need, you can give that alignment. And next, you can have a text direction. So here we have a text direction. I have placed my cursor at maths and I want to change the text direction. So my text direction will be changed, such that my text direction is changed. So whenever we are preparing any timetables, that time break will be in different directions, so that in that cases we use this direction. You just here place the cursor and you can change the direction of the text. This is alignment group. And next, in the cell size group, you can change the auto fit to contents, auto fit to window, auto fit to column width, such that you can also manage the table. And next, you can increase the height and you can decrease the height of the table cells, and width we can increase and decrease the width from the layout tab. And you have one more options like erase. In the erase is used to erase the table rows, such that margins will be erased. That means our table margins will be erased like this. And if you want to draw table, if you want to draw any lines, you can draw the lines by using draw table. I have selected the different border, so my border is like this. And next, you can use convert to text. So what is this convert to text? We already saw in the used convert text to table. Here in the layout tab, we have one more option called convert to text. What this convert to text does means, if we are writing any table, so now it is a table, I want to convert this into a text. So such that you can convert this into a text, you have to select the table and you just press convert to text. So here we have a dialog box. It is asking for what type of data. That is, you have to separate the tables cells with commas, or you have to separate with other symbols like at the rate of full stop, etc. If you want to write with a paragraph marks, etc. So now I'm using tabs because the tabs means it gives the space for cell to cell. So I'm selecting tab and okay. So my data is converted into text, but you can see here the data is very confusing, because whenever we have if you like the content and want to see the video in future, like the video such that it will be saved in liked videos. Subscribe and press bell icon for latest updates.